Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
You guys, welcome back. It's another episode of the Fake Ass Book Club. This is your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
What's up? What's up?
You know, I'm just dripping in all this finesse.
As you should, friend. You know, it looks good on you.
Thank you. What's up with you?
You know what? We're about to get into this episode of the Fake Ass Book Club. That's what's up. I mean, I'm super excited about it. I don't know about you.
Me too. We have a book today.
We're not even that fake. It makes it really nice, you guys. So we do have a book today. It is Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. So we're on our little trek of covering female comedians, I feel like, this month. It's still Women's History Month, so
from Philly.
And wait a minute, Tina Fey's from Philadelphia too. That's crazy.
Yeah. She talked about it. She's from East Philadelphia.
West. Aha.
Because of segregation.
Listen, let's go out the gates. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, you guys. So yeah, we're going to be talking about her book today. Let me give you guys a little synopsis. So these laugh out loud autobiographical essays are a masterpiece from the Emmy award-winning actress and comedy writer known for 30 Rock, Mean Girls, and SNL, according to the Sunday Telegraph. Bossy Pants by Tina Fey reveals all and proves what we've always suspected. You're no one until someone calls you bossy. So there it is, guys. We're going to get into it today. Yeah, this should be fun. I laughed a lot, so I can't wait to talk about it. All right, you guys.
Me
so
too.
should we dedicate this episode, friend, or what?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So hands over your hearts, you guys. We want to dedicate this episode to our patrons. You guys are the best and our faves. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content over there at Patreon. If you haven't joined, you should. We have a lot of content for you guys. We have just a lot of really candid conversations. We have a lot of fun over there. Also, I want to dedicate this to all the bossy ladies out there getting shit done. That's who. What about you?
Love it. I love that. That's like Doc McStuffins, that song, She's Not Bossy, She's a Boss. My dedication is going out to all the artists that participated in Art in Bloom at Newfields, but especially friend of the show, Dee, at 55 Rose Street. Her display was elegant and definitely an echo of the piece that was supposed to be her inspiration. So had a really great time there with like my aunt and godmother and my daughter in one of my favorite places in the city.
Yay.
Dedication over.
Awesome. I love that, friend. You know what? Because how long was that even going on? Or is it going on? Do you know?
It was from the 21st until the 24th. Okay. So it ended today. Because it was like real flowers.
Yeah, it can't be forever.
So there was a definite like clock on it. But here's the thing. Like, I've never been to the event before. I was really just going because I knew Dee was going to be in it and I wanted to like see her there. And so she like we went to see her, you know, there's a map so you can like, because there's different exhibits and on every floor. It wasn't until we got to like the third floor that we realized that everyone's floral arrangement was based on a piece of art in Newfield's collection.
Oh.
And so they were supposed to make a bouquet that was supposed to be kind of inspired by that. So then we had to like go through everything we had looked at to see if they really did that.
Okay.
And it was funny because you can tell some people like understood the assignment and other people just kind of did what they wanted to. Okay. It was all beautiful though. It was all really, really fun though. Very, very cool. Would recommend 5 stars.
Oh, nice. I'm so glad you can make it. Yeah, that sounds like a beautiful event.
Oh, and also to friend of the show, Greg. Their stuff was amazing, especially the sculptural element, because that was so detailed, and it was so wonderful. It was so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm saying it again.
I love
loved it.
beautiful flowers, and yeah, any opportunity to kind of go, and it's nice to be able to support the people who you know are actually involved in those events too. So I'm glad you got to represent for Fab too. Like, hopefully, you know, they felt the love from. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of feeling the love, you guys, we're going to get into this book, Bossy Pants by Miss Tina Fey. This book was about 283 pages if you were to read it, the Kindle edition anyway. And it was first published April 5th of 2011. And I listened to it on Audible. It's about a 5-hour and 32-minute read, and it was narrated by our author, which was really nice, and it had a lot of really fun PDFs that went with it. So y'all know how I feel about audiobooks. Love them so much. Always love when there's a PDF. Super fun when you can go and look at the reference images and stuff like that. Also, I don't think I asked you this. Do you have a little blurb about Miss Tina Fey?
I was gonna pull something up, but like your description of the book had way more information about her than my blurb. Okay. The only thing that is on here was like she was the head writer for Saturday Night Live from 1997 to 2006. Okay. And I feel like maybe if you're not super familiar with her, you might remember her as the lady who did Sarah Palin on SNL. I think that's when she became like icon. Yeah, for sure.
Because this was like, I mean, when she kind of hit the pinnacle of her, you know, sort of fame or whatever, because she's been, I mean, in the business for a really long time. It was like 2000 going into the 2010s, like right, like toward the end of the beginning of the 2000s. That doesn't even make any sense. Where she was becoming very popular. You know what I'm saying? Like when.
Well, 30 Rock. I feel like 30 Rock is when I really started taking note for real. Like I always liked her on SNL because she would do the Weekend Update with Jimmy Fallon. But I feel like to me it was 30 All Rock day. Down. I freaking love that. You
sure did. Well, it says she's received 7 Emmy Awards. 3 Golden Globe Awards, 4 Screen Actors Guild Awards, 4 Writers Guild of America Awards, and singled out as the performer who had the greatest impact on culture and entertainment in 2008 by the Associated Press. So yeah, she's done her thing.
Yeah, that was a Sarah Palin time.
So yeah, that I do remember that. That was pretty iconic too. So just love Tina Fey. Love her down.
Also, when she hosted SNL, when she came back, you know, as a guest host or whatever, and she and Maya Rudolph were pregnant, and they did I would call it a women's history anthem, about how your baby is the proof that you've been doing it.
I remember that. Oh man, that was a great song. I mean,
that was actually, editing me. Wake up. I know you're sleepy, girl. Like, see if you can find that clip. It was really funny. Tina Fey and Maya Rudolph singing We've Been Doing It.
And you are the proof that we've been doing it. Making super sexy heat. Your mom and daddy been doing it. Baby, you are the receipt.
Classy ladies. Love them so hard. Those two together.
And they were popping, like,
if you're
doing bellies
it,
out.
I mean, like,
it's the only way to do it,
man. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about this book. We had read, I know that we had mentioned last week that this was something that we both read before, and I don't remember when it was. I do.
Oh, I read it right when it came out.
I don't remember when I read it, but I remember enjoying it a lot. And re-listening to it, I think I enjoyed it more the second time.
Oh, definitely. Okay. When I first listened to it, like back when it first came out, I borrowed it from the library, maybe a CD. Whatever I did, I figured out how to rip it. Okay. And so I had it downloaded on like one of them little portable MP3 players. And would just re-listen to it occasionally. And then, of course, you always end up losing that kind of stuff. And so having re-listened to it recently, like, there's so many gems in this. I should actually listen to this every year.
It's a really good book. I think that I really liked So I ended up calling you, leaving you a voice note because there was a section toward the beginning of the book. Like I didn't even make it that far before I was like cracking up.
Oh, I think the essay is called All Girls
All
Must
girls
Be
must
Everything.
be everything. And her description of all the things that women have to be. Well, so she's telling this story basically like how she's at the beach with, I think, her family, or I think some family members, cousins or something like that. And somebody offhandedly says, "Oh my God, her thighs," you know? And Tina's like thighs, what's wrong with them? Are they too big? Are they too small? Like, I didn't even know there could be things wrong with your thighs, you know? And so, yes. And so when she just starts listing all of the things that could go wrong with your body, from like your nail beds to your crotch biscuits, crotch biscuits,
your eyebrows.
Weak. Why did she call them that? Because I was like, I know exactly what she's talking about.
She's a professional writer. She's really good at describing
When
things.
I say I was breathless, like I ended up leaving Kat an obnoxious, cracking up voice. It was all long, hilarious. And because I couldn't even catch my breath because I was laughing so hard.
No, it was pretty great. I really appreciated getting that. It was funny because I had just listened to that like maybe a half an hour earlier. So yeah, it was fresh with me too. Because once again, it was that real like laugh out loud laughter where it's just like, even having read it before, that to me is a sign that something is really funny, where I can re-listen to it and it's kind of like when you watch Friday.
Yeah, some stuff just it ages well. So that was just really hilarious, and I just loved hearing the stories, like her coming of age stories and stuff like that, and her love for comedy and how she kind of found her people, and sort of went on her journey to become a comedian. It's always funny to me to hear how like people's parents react to that. Because it is kind of like when your kids say they want to do that, it's like, I mean, you want to support them.
It's like, yeah, that was worth ripping my perineum. Thanks, son.
Thank God I didn't have that. And then about to use the Spirit of Santi. My goodness, because peritoneum's ripping is.
It's like, yeah, I thought maybe you'd have a nice stable career and be able to take care of me someday, but tell them the ha-has.
Not tell them the ha-has. And then it's like, we don't even know.
But it's very similar to Quince's book though, where that's kind of like but I don't think Tina Fey's parents really gave her a hard time.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it was like,
but she said she had old parents,
so they were just like, sure,
you're just bonus kid.
Exactly. But I mean, honestly, I think when you have like when from a young age that you want to do something like that, that's always really fascinating to me, whether it's comedy or like I want to be a doctor and then you end up being a doctor. Like I'm always like, really? I changed my mind so much. Like,
listen,
how do you just
some
know?
people are just like, ooh, I got it early.
Yeah,
I think awesome. It makes sense that, and maybe that is your like destiny to kind of change. Like it's just not one thing.
Maybe.
Because I don't, like it can be kind of sad in a way if you just have the one thing. Like I think having multiple things, because of course my brain does this, but I'm just like, like if I'm ever paralyzed, like what am I going to do to get enjoyment out of life?
Damn. I don't know that I've ever had that thought.
I have so many thoughts. Like I'm running a lot of different scenarios. So yeah, like, cause that can happen. I mean,
and the thing is I see this all the time, legitimately every day, but and even though I've thought about like, dang, that could be me. I didn't go into like, so now, what does that mean though? Like, how would I have fun? Or, but you know what I did think too, that's kind of along that line. Did you see that man who had polio, who recently died? He was like living in one of those polio chambers.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, the iron lung
dude. And so for a brief second, I did think about that. Like I was kind of like, I don't know if this is wrong to say, but I'm just like, I know. I'm like,
look out, people.
Like, would I
Brace
want
yourselves.
to do that? Like,
so like these are like huge questions that like bioethicists have to answer. I just tell myself, I don't have to know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're trying to ask yourself, what would you do
But
for enjoyment if you were if you were an iron lung, though? Basically, essentially, like if you just couldn't.
I don't know. It might be like psychedelics.
Okay, he painted. He got a law degree. Like he had a life. So like
Yeah.
that's
I
nice.
feel like
That's nice. I don't see, and I'm putting the inflection of nice.
nice. It's cute.
It just, I'm just grateful that I don't actually have to think about that.
Sure.
Because it just feels overwhelming. But I guess, I mean, you make it, I mean, just like anything, you just do what you have to do.
Yeah, life's what
Exactly.
you make it. Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
yes, with Miss Tina, with Miss Fey
My
here.
God.
I don't know. Was there any story that you felt like you resonated with the most?
Let's see. I wish I had the list of each, like each part. I don't know. Like, I think just, I don't, so many of them made me laugh. Like, I mean, not necessarily that resonated with me, but just her and talking about being a woman and how, I don't know, just the hardness of it all. Like it's a difficult,
Yeah,
being a working mom and
Oh, what did you think of the working mom book her daughter
About the
brought
witch?
home? About the witch that was written by two men.
that was pretty harsh, man. Yeah, give them the little
Mm-hmm.
synopsis of that. That was pleasant.
So it was super cute. She was just talking about, trying to juggle having a career and being a mom. And one day her daughter, brought home a library book, and it was about, it was called My Working Mom or something like that. And it was about a mom who was like a witch. And it was always like, I wish my mom didn't have to fly off to meetings all the time. And then at the end, it's like, I guess it's kind of hard having a mom who works, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And it was just like, man, this is
Why
some
a
bullshit.
witch?
And so later on, she tells her daughter, she's like, you know what, that book, that kind of hurt my feelings about the working mom. And she was like, Mom, I can't read. I thought it was a
Right.
Halloween book.
It's like I hated
Like,
the story too.
you
So,
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking into it
Oh,
that deep.
wow.
Like,
Right.
just chill out. And that was just kind of like a lesson too, where it's just like, oh yeah, like I might be like looking into this a little too hard right now.
Well, because the stakes are pretty high. I think she talked about that too. Like, you don't want to mess it up. I think just her talking about,
Sure.
like between being like a working mom, but also just parenting and like the pressure you feel to get it right. You know what I mean? It's just like that resonates, man.
I also could see the stuff she had pulled from her life and put on 30 Rock. That was kind of funny to see, especially when she was kind of talking about her nanny.
Oh, I know, with the fingernails.
Because there's this amazing episode of 30 Rock where the Liz's boss Jack, he's basically in a detente with his Jamaican nanny, where she's gone from working full time to part time because the child's gotten older. When it was infant, all the time or whatever. But he's like, but he was still paying her the same. And so he's like, I'm not able to negotiate with this woman because she's raising my child. So every time he'd go in to be like, he would just fuck up the negotiations, and she'd just be sitting there looking at him
Like, what you
dead-eyed.
gonna
And
say?
so she's like, so what you want to do? And he was like, I'll continue to pay you what I'm paying you right now. And that was it. Or he said something. He was like, no, you got to realize it's ridiculous. I got to, I can't be paying you the same. And then the baby started crying right
She's like, all right,
then.
bye.
And he was like, if she turned to go, and he was like, if you take care of that, I will pay for everyone in your family to go to college. Like, he was like,
Okay.
and I was like, wow, I've got like real ass bargaining tips from that
man.
show. Like negotiation stuff, like know your power.
I mean, and then too, can you imagine having a nanny? Like, it's such a yes. But like, again, like with every privilege that you have, it's not like just because you have a privilege, it doesn't mean that means it's like 100% up. You know what I mean? So like the downside of that is like, damn, like somebody else is raising my kids though. And
I still think the harder side of that is if I don't work as a nanny, I won't be able to stay alive.
Right. So like and I'm not bringing it up to compare it at all. I'm just saying like
No, but I'm just talking about like, it's like I get you have your problems, but I'm like in that situation, I'm still kind of like the nanny who's not able to pay
or
taxes.
that has to leave her family to take care of your kids, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel so where I was going with that was like more for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like you are building up this affection and affinity for somebody who's not, like
For
this
that person,
motherly
yes, yeah.
bond. And it's like, you're not
It was
necessarily
like
getting
that
that from your
episode
own
of
parent.
Atlanta when the white people went to the Jamaican nanny's funeral. Do you remember that
was so
episode of
ignorant.
Atlanta?
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was amazing though.
I love that show.
Yeah, but I think that really illustrates what you're talking about, where
Yes.
they were like, there was a whole aspect of their son's
Know
life they didn't even
about.
know about because she was bringing him around. But then then the daughter brought up my point, which was like, well, we are all fucked
She
up
wasn't
'cause
even
she was busy
here.
raising y'all's
Exactly.
kids.
The kids
Yeah,
yes.
and she
So I mean, that's just
but she was taking care of them by
Yeah.
doing that. Like she didn't have any other options.
Whew.
Like it does bring to light like certain socioeconomic things where it's like, I just can't really feel
yeah,
bad for you.
no, it's not.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not the kind of feeling bad, but it's just like, damn, that has to be crazy. Like, I guess I just think about how I feel about my kids and not having that. We both just got through talking about how like, oh, we just got this extra time with our daughters this weekend, snuggled up with them, just having the extra time. Like, if they didn't want to do that with me, or if they preferred, and not even like she didn't even get into any of that stuff. I mean, I am
Yeah.
totally just bringing this up on the side, but just how complicated that could be all the way around. You know what I'm saying?
But I did really relate to the story where she was talking about how when she was on 30 Rock and playing Sarah Palin and trying to schedule Oprah and plan her daughter's
Oh my
first birthday
God.
party, and how all those things were all equally important.
Mhm.
Like, I get
Yeah.
that. And like just the way she even described it, where she was like, I wasn't able to find any Peter Pan plates.
Mhm.
And it's just so crazy too, because then my brain is kind of like, Peter Pan was fucked up. You probably don't even want that to be your kid's like hero.
Well, she didn't want it.
Because he was a kidnapper.
Okay, tangent. We're not about to be talking about this right now. We
Look
can,
into
yeah.
it, people.
Peter Pan.
Captain Hook
so
was
he
the
could pop
hero.
up with the little circle with the line through his face. Okay, we don't like him. We don't like Peter. But
You don't want to go
but
to
it's
Neverland.
definitely, I mean, that's real because that is how it is. Like, you're trying to do the work things and those are important. You're trying to do the mom things, those are important. And inevitably you feel like you're
And then
failing.
Oprah even told her, is like, I think you might be
Right.
doing too much. And she's like, when Oprah tells you, like, you doing too much. You
You're
might be
definitely doing too much, for sure. You're definitely doing too much. Yeah, Tina Fey is hilarious, man. I think one of the stories that was funny to me too was when she was climbing that mountain with that boy, just in hopes of being able to make out with him. I was like, this is out of control. This right here,
That was some top-notch vulnerability right there.
And the fact that she described the gentleman as Robert Wool. Do you know who he is?
Handsome Rob. I did
said,
not even know who that was. That's how
A
obscure it
handsome
was.
Robert Wool. And she was like, so I'm going to give you a second to push pause and look him up and think about that. Like, I need you to reconcile that in your mind and then come back. And I did. I paused it and I looked him up. I'm about to send it to you. I mean,
Okay, I never looked it up. I just kept
I
listening. Sometimes I'm doing stuff with my
fucking
hands. And I
died
was
when
like,
I said, oh my God. I can't picture it. And no shade to you, Robert Wool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even saying this to be insulting, even though I know it is. It made me laugh so hard. I was like, I was dead, man.
But a handsome version of it.
But
you know
I
what's
couldn't.
funny? Because he lightweight looks, okay, dude from Arliss. He lightweight looks like someone I went to
Straight
school
up?
with. Like, so I can totally
Really? Oh, I
picture it.
can't.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like a handsome version of that. Because I know she's talking about them little facial features and stuff like that. Because she damn near looks,
well, maybe it's the picture
know,
that
I
I
get it.
pulled up. I said, oh, I can't.
I love the end too, because this is what I love about Tina Fey, because she always has some little smart ass remark. And because she was like, the girl he really wanted to be with,
Oh, yeah.
she was talking to her about her, and she was like, "Bitch, like, you know what? I hope you married her, and I hope she has a cavernous
But not
vagina."
a cavernous.
It's like-
one. It's like, oh, That's a wish.
Tina.
That is a wish. Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of vaginas, remember she was talking about her first pap? She passed out. Oh my gosh.
She was like, why didn't you get it while I was
She was
passed
like-
out? That would be the ideal time to talk about it. When people are just like, oh, our bodies are so amazingly designed. No, they're
Oh my
not.
gosh.
The things we have to endure just to make sure things aren't falling apart, like pap smears and
Oh my
mammograms.
goodness.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I truly feel like with the level of technology we have right now, there's got to be a better way of getting this information out of my body.
Well,
Could we put like a meat thermometer in
that
there or
would hurt
something?
too.
Like, I feel like it would be less worse than the like trash compactor on my lady parts.
I mean, unless you have some thesis.
Or sticking like a, I don't know. I feel like it should be like when you go to AutoZone and they just put that thing in there
Like
and
the
it can read all
diagnostic.
like the different
But we're
things
not
about your car.
computers yet.
Yeah.
You know?
I need like a diagnostic. I need a USB drive.
So you're ready
installed.
to yes,
cyborg,
okay.
yes.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word, but I knew you'd know. Wow. Okay. To
Yes,
avoid
I'm
paps,
ready,
you're like,
I'm ready.
Guess what? I need to be I need to be a robot now.
And
those are
mammograms.
not.
And MRI. I mean, just every single form of testing, it feels like they make it as awful as possible.
It is true. It
And I
does
just
feel like that.
feel like there's got to be a better
Yeah.
way. Just like they figured out you don't have to stick something up your butt to take your temperature. Remember when they made that innovation? Like, I feel like there's still room for innovation. Like, we don't have to keep.
Well, just think
like,
this is the best
can't
it
we do
ever
that
has
instead of
been. No,
Viagra?
this is the best it ever has been too. That's the thing that's even more sad.
I know.
And it's
Oh,
still
that
pretty
is
bad.
sad. Oh, yeah, because they do warm up the speculum now. I do
Yeah, that is
appreciate
nice.
that. It's much better than the cold metal.
Yeah, guys, you are welcome for this, in-depth discussion of paps.
I mean, do you know how many people are just like, you know what? I'll just take my chances with cervical cancer. We'll just see what happens. Like, I don't want to do this.
No, yeah, I just have to endure. Ain't no way. But yeah, it does suck. It sucks a lot. I mean, she just had a really awesome way. Like you said, she's just a really good writer. So all of her stories were like, you get this little bit of her bitchiness and snarkiness, which I really
no
like.
nonsense attitude.
Yes.
Oh, I really related to her being a virgin way into adulthood.
Oh.
Like,
How old did she
yeah,
say she was? I
was
don't
just like,
remember this.
yeah. Well, she was like 24 or 25.
Oh, okay. Damn. I remember that.
Yeah, she was like, because she was giving advice on how to raise
that's right.
yeah, she was like, yeah, basically she was like bad skin, strong father figure. I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah. I was like,
That'll do it.
that'll do it. Because I was like, I think I put it off too, because I was incredibly ashamed for anybody to see my skin.
Well, and it is pretty. I mean, that's a scary thing. It's like, oh gosh, I gotta be here naked with you. This
Well,
is crazy.
Well, and like I had a skin condition that made most people ask if I had been in a fire. So, like, yeah, it wasn't
You were,
like,
let me
"Ooh, you
show
gotta
this
see
off.
this."
Yeah. On top of just
Yeah.
the regular awkwardness that exists.
Yeah, on top of just the regular
Yeah.
body shame of everything that's
Right.
wrong with me. It's
Hello,
like, yeah,
crotch
it was
biscuits.
never.
Hello.
Yeah, I really like that too, where it's just like you're not taught to love or appreciate your body. You're just constantly being sold why everything about you
Yeah,
is
that's why
terrible.
that resonated too, though, because it's like the first time that you realize everything is wrong with your body is really like, oh God, okay, so so this is, that's not right.
I'm doing
Yeah, it's
everything
like
wrong, and no one's gonna love me.
Great.
Cool.
This is, and I feel like I'm,
I knew
I'm
it.
failing at this thing. It's like, this is super crazy. So yeah, just all the messages you get from all of that kind of stuff is crazy. I like that she talked about double standard for men bosses versus women bosses.
Can we talk about that real quick?
What do you want to say?
Well, it's a little bit of a reference to a little something I watched this weekend where a bunch of men were able to get like away with a bunch of crap for a really long time. Whereas I feel women get reined in immediately. Like if there's any slight thing wrong. But I do love, like I said, I read this before I went back to school, and like the school I went in informatics, and it's very male led, and knowing how to like interact with men in a leadership, it's very important information. I'll put it that way. Like just her way of like when people try to come at you sideways, you have to shut that down immediately. Like I think she was talking about like how somebody on her writing staff or in the writing room that she was in called her and she had to like immediately shut that down and be like, no, you can't talk to me like that. My parents love me.
I know that's right. It's like, fuck out of here with that. We're not doing that. Not here. Not today.
No. And then it was like, and then that deaded it. But it's kind of like in situations like that, what I'm learning is a lot of times people are afraid of rocking the boat. They don't want to lose like this job or their dream.
Right.
You know, like you put up with a lot of crap because you're afraid of what's going to happen. But when you're secure in your talent and what you can do, it's like, this isn't the end or the beginning of me.
But yeah, you see it. I mean, you see it on even a smaller scale. I think sometimes even when it's, you know, maybe they're not directly your boss, you know, some men, like they just get away with some crazy shit sometimes. Now, I will say, you know, women, like when it comes to sexual harassment, I have witnessed this where, you know, women are sexualizing. Like there was this guy we worked with and everybody was always like, you know, like saying little stuff to him. And I don't know if he ever really felt uncomfortable. I mean, he was definitely married and it was inappropriate, you know what I'm saying, for the girls to be going this hard about him. And it was kind of like a joke or whatever.
Well, was he attractive?
I think, yeah. I mean, he wasn't like an ugly guy. You know, I wasn't.
Well, then he was asking for it.
Wow. He was wearing those tight
jeans.
Did
he think about maybe putting on something like
covered
maybe,
himself
you know, obscuring his face so he wasn't tempting these women?
Because, I mean, healthcare is there's lots of ladies there. And here you come with your little tight.
And he's just flaunting his goods and those like scrubs and that's white
what he
coat.
Was doing.
Like, get out of
he
here.
was a clinical engineer. He wasn't even one of the docs.
Oh, so you're coming in there with your little khaki pants and your polo shirt. And
no.
Oh, he would? Okay, well, whatever he had on, it was wrong. And
he asked for it.
And he just had it coming.
That is true.
Did.
I'm glad you put it like that because that's definitely set me straight. But no, and I'm not bringing that up because
no, it's bad whenever it happens. Like whatever.
But what's crazy, if it came down to it though, it's like, I don't know, like when I see it the other way, it's always like, oh, you're rubbing somebody's shoulders. Like the guy is already, it always ends up getting physical. Like I don't know why at some point at my job, there was a guy straddling a pregnant lady up in the OR, wiping his balls on her leg. Yeah.
Why do they do that? Like a monkey. Like I feel like when you watch those little like monkey videos, they be doing stuff like that. They're just like, look at my junk. Like
she was pregnant. And it was so crazy because it's like, this is the last person. It was like the person that not like, well, if you're going to be a predator, you do have to be careful on like the victim. Like you say, I mean, she wasn't gonna be somebody who wasn't gonna say anything about him wiping his balls across her leg. It's like, you should have picked somebody else. Actually, no, you shouldn't have. No one should be picked for that.
Yeah. Just pay it. If that's what you're into, pay a professional.
I'm like,
you know, Peyton Manning did that one
balls
time
on somebody
when he was like at the University of Tennessee. Like, yeah, there was a female trainer. And when they were doing, like, she was actually, you know, lifting weights with them, and he came over and put his nutsack on her forehead. And then when she complained about, Jesus Christ. And then when she complained, Moni, be serious. This is serious. This is so super serial. Because then when she made a complaint about it, they were just like, oh, you know how it is when you're in the locker room with the boys. And it's like, no, she's like, I went to school too long and worked too hard to be putting up with this mess now. And so eventually they just fired her and labeled her as difficult. And like later on, when she tried to sue and stuff like that, they're trying to make her seem crazy or
For
whatever.
not wanting balls
And
on
it
her
was like,
forehead, like that's the worst.
yes, apparently you're crazy. You should be flattered. That means he likes you.
That's how you know you're one of the
It's like,
guys. One of the girls. Like,
right.
no, man, no, I don't want your balls on my
No,
forehead.
like everybody deserves. Oh, also shout out to In Podcasting with Chris Spangle. We got to be at the live show this weekend. And one of the compliments I pay the guest there, Harder Brunch, was that every time I've been around, I don't feel sexually harassed. And that's rare. Like I got,
Wow.
it's so rare. Like pretty much it's pretty commonplace, and it is hard to say something, especially when people are just used to it.
Bar.
And you come in saying, be like, oh, that's super fucked up. And it's like, hey, you uppity negress, you're lucky to be here.
Wow.
And it's like,
I mean, the bar's in hell. So
it's really, really low.
I just can't even imagine being somewhere and somebody wiping their balls on me, man. Like I would.
Well, just laying them. Well, yeah. Any kind of interaction with the nut sacks is
Okay.
undesirable. I feel like so avoidable, like the amount of extra work that takes to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember men would always come up with some reason, like, oh, I sat in gum, or like some reason to get you to look at. It's like, why not just
balls are the worst?
why not? Like, cause I feel like women do that to men? Cause like I said, I don't know. Like, do they ever just
I bet they do. There's probably some
flash their genitals?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Speaking of genitals, this is actually reminding me of have you heard about buckle bunnies?
Kat shakes her head no.
Girl, buckle bunnies. That's like a pit. It's like a camel toe, but you're wearing like the belt, like the round country belt. And I don't know why this is on TikTok. Like it's a trend on TikTok. Like a belt buckle. But under it is like the little bunny ears of, you know what I'm saying, of your camel toe. So they're like bunny ears and it's like a buckle bunny.
That is creative.
When you sigh like that, it always takes me out when you're exasperated by it.
That's when I'm like, you know what? Q might be right. Like
we don't deserve anything
deserve
nice. We don't deserve nice things.
We don't.
Hilarious.
It's still look at my junk.
So yeah, I think sometimes, because I don't know why that's appropriate. Like, why are you walking around? Like, and it's uncomfortable. I know you know it is. And if you've ever had a camel toe, it's like that doesn't feel good. So I think that they do, but I just think that it's like, because it's like it's not necessarily drooping and available to like touch somebody else. Like it's not like you really have to be, you know what I'm saying, to put it on somebody.
And to
be a lot more intentional.
I'm gonna put because the other thing is, it's a very vulnerable part of your body. So if I'm shocked, you know me, I flip out. Like I might just like, you know, like,
I mean, I think
quick.
you deserve that.
Like,
If that's what you get. I mean, like if you're gonna come around here, if your balls get hit, man, like that's all I'm saying. Just it's weird. Yeah,
balls get hit.
It is what it is.
Around here.
It just is what it is, guys. So don't come around me with that bullshit. Okay.
I guess it just needs to be said early and often. Don't take your penis out at school or work. Okay? Like, is everybody okay with that? Like, I figured out, like, is this what needs to happen? Like, is it just super hard to not sexually assault and harass? Like, is that really difficult to keep under control? So we need to like just kind of start, because I remember it starting like in kindergarten.
Yeah, no.
Where boys try to get you to touch their thing.
See, I don't remember that.
And like,
man.
I remember there's the classic I've got something in my pocket. There was, I remember this was first grade, where a boy was like, he put it in the lunch bag like the the little brown paper bag
Ew.
or whatever,
It's
and
like,
then
got a snack.
like or something. It was like
It's like, is that a carrot stick?
what I forget what the
Doesn't
subterfuge was,
matter.
but got me to touch
Ew.
it. And
Fell for
so
it
it's
once
just
more.
like, what was this for? Was I and then they think it's hilarious. I was like, was
It's a little funny hearing
Like-
about it right now. Even though I know it's wrong.
Yeah, and even back then I knew not to tell. Where it's just like, this is gonna be what my whole day is about. I
Yes,
don't really
I
have
just wanna
time for
forget
this.
about
I've got
this.
coloring later. I don't want to miss out. Like, I don't
Oh,
want to
man.
basically miss out on stuff because I have to deal with
This.
or even worse, no one gives a fuck. It's just like, girl, just don't fall
Right.
for
It's
that
like
shit.
you never put your hand in the bag, you dummy.
Like, if you really think about it, that's on you. It's like, what did you think was in there? And it's like, why did you
Right. A
dick?
carrot
Like,
stick.
well, I'm
Fucking right.
6.
Animal
Like, why
crackers.
am I just like now I think it's like, is
It's
there
a
a
dick in the box.
there? I know now,
It's a
but
dick in a
back
box.
then,
Oh man, and then it made me think about Curb Your Enthusiasm, where JB Smoove, he's like sitting there talking to Larry,
With
and
them
his
balls
balls was
hanging
hanging out
out.
in the whole episode. Man, I died because it's just like, yeah, balls
That
are the
was
worst. They
very,
ruin
very
everybody's
funny.
day.
we probably should do an episode about Curb
I
Your
would love
Enthusiasm
to.
at some point.
God, I love him.
because this is the final season, and man, what an amazing
man.
program. And why does JB Smoove still live there? He moved in during Katrina. He was a Katrina refugee. Moni, do you remember what year Hurricane Katrina happened?
Me, 2005.
Yes,
To
young lady in the front.
2005.
2005. And what year of our Lord are we in
2012?
right now?
It's a lot of math.
So that's almost
Yeah.
20 years that this man has been
He's a fixture.
freeloading. And Larry's moved a bunch of times.
He's literally like his pet Negro.
He lost a wife and still has JB living in the house.
Absolutely. Bros before hoes. What do you mean?
And no one cares. And still has a housekeeper
Yeah.
though. It's like,
He probably definitely needs one with JB's ass there. That's probably the only reason, because Larry seemed like he's probably a little neat.
and it's never been explained.
I don't think it needs to be explained.
So he just has like kind of a house
Yeah.
Negro, right?
Yeah. It's fun. It's festive. We all should have one. Yes.
And shout out to his extensive do-rag collection.
Yeah, man.
Like he's
I
got
would
them
love
all.
to talk about Curb. That would
I'm-
be amazing. Larry David is iconic. The program, like you said, is so
He
good.
really is. I mean, talk
Man.
about like just doing what you want to, which is, I guess, the goal. I think that's one reason why I really admire Tina Fey, because I think she was able to get her career to the point where she's able to do whatever she
Yeah.
wants.
And
I like a lot
I
of
do
the
too,
stuff.
and I like the honesty around those conversations about, balancing. Because she's like, when people ask about that, it's always like, yeah, no, that's not really happening. Like, there's always several things happening at once, and you feel the weight of being a boss, because you know that if you're not producing, because she was talking about possibly wanting a second child, and examining like where that was coming from. Like, is it just a chemical con job of my hormones? Is it a status symbol? Do I actually? Is it just guilt?
Right. We can pay for tuition.
Like, is it just guilt because my child is asking me about this, hypothetical next or second child or whatever? And, I don't know, like just having some of those honest conversations, but, again, feeling like, okay, I am the boss. I'm paying people's, I know that if this production gets shut down because I am, or delayed, that like I'm affecting other people's incomes and their livelihoods and stuff. And, a lot of their work isn't easy. It's long hours, because you're putting in long hours, but so is somebody else who might be making less and whose dream job this might not be. This might just be the job that they have for now. They're working toward their dreams. So yeah, I just like that perspective of her just being super honest about like being the boss is awesome, but being the boss is it's still it's still a lot, and then being a woman boss on top of that is just a layered situation.
Well, I like she brought up a lot of the stuff she learned from Lorne Michaels. Actually, a lot of the Hollywood gossip is that he's tapped her to take over when he steps down.
That would be nice.
Because that was the thing too. A lot of her relationship with Jack on 30 Rock is similar to a lot of the stuff she described with Lorne Michaels.
Nice.
And that was kind of one of the things. So yeah, I think a lot of the decisions, like he's like, let's not decide right now. Or when hiring people, he's like, don't hire someone you don't want to see in the hallway at 3 a.m.
That changes everything.
Like it does. Like it was like never let, like, it doesn't matter how talented someone is, like, you want to cultivate like a good culture on set and stuff like that. So I just remember I got so much enjoyment out of so many of her projects. Like, it just means so much to me. And like the fact that she really does bake good messages into the work she makes. Like, it's a lot of times it is funny because it really resonates on a very real level.
I mean, the amount of times I laughed out loud while reading this book was a lot.
Like cackling.
Man. Like, I was glad I was by myself.
Oh, and her talk about improv, because that's where I really learned about, not real. I mean, I think that's the first time it was described to me as not just an entertainment, but sort of a philosophy that helps you in other areas. So that idea of yes and not shutting people down. And even when she just because people do call it a cult, but she's like, listen, it gave me a career. What's your cult done for you lately? It's like, like she lays it out pretty well. So just that, everything she's a very good teacher. Like, because she was, Tina Fey, this other thing you might remember from Mean Girls. She did the screen. Actually, at some point, we should read the book that Mean Girls was based on, Queen Bees and Wannabes.
I didn't even know there was the reference. I never even heard of it. Never heard of it.
Knowledge. I'm throwing it out everywhere for free. Yeah, Queen Bees and Wannabes, and then Tina Fey adapted that into the screenplay for Mean Girls.
Oh, I see.
And then the world got a gift.
Man, helping your daughter survive cliques, gossip, boyfriends, and the realities of girl world. Wow. That wait, it might be something else because it was ... Girl world. Oh no, that's it.
The ellipses.
Oh wow.
But yeah, she was the teacher that got in trouble, the math teacher. From Mean Girls.
Right.
Yeah, and
isn't it a musical right now?
Yeah, there's another. I don't know if it's I don't know exactly how they're billing it. If it's Mean Girls 2 or Mean Girls the musical, but apparently she's in that too.
Okay.
But I haven't heard great things, so I'm slow pedaling that.
Right.
We'll see if I get to it.
I like it. Well, how about we take a quick break then, friend? And then come right back. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Are you tired of staring at those stubborn stains on your driveway or the grime on that office building? Is your HOA driving you crazy, complaining about the algae on the side of your house? Well, look no further. Premium Pro Wash are the go-to power washing heroes based right here in Indianapolis and has the solution for all your cleaning needs. They tackle everything from roofs to driveways to commercial businesses and storefronts with precision and expertise. At Premium Pro Wash, they are committed professionals who are reliable and dedicated to ensuring your satisfaction. Don't wait any longer. Reach out today and let them take the pressure off of you. Premium Pro Wash, applying the pressure you need when and where you need it. Call 317-389-0098. That's 317-389-0098 for your free quote today. Well, welcome back, you guys, from our break.
Yep, we're back.
We're definitely back. So just, overall, friend, what did you think about the book? I mean, I feel like we've said it already, but like if you had to rate this book, what would you give it?
I would give it 5 out of 5 nerdy glasses, because that's what she's kind of known for, is wearing glasses. I mean, just amazing.
Nice.
What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it. I'm giving her 5 out of 5 crotch biscuits, because that made me laugh so
There's
hard.
an extra one. That is, listen, there are so many jiggly
Bat
bits
wings, saddlebags.
That's pretty much part of being a woman.
It is.
It's just more things to wiggle.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I think people who would enjoy this book are fans of comedy, improv, Tina Fey, anything she's been a part of. I think if you didn't like this book, you probably don't like Tina Fey. Or you don't think women are funny. You know what I mean? Like you just like some people just
Yeah,
don't
but
think
it's
they are.
definitely not a full narrative. It is a series of essays.
Yes.
So just know that it's not and it's there like Quinta's book. It's a series of autobiographical essays.
Yes, very
Very
funny. I definitely recommend it. The audiobook was fantastic.
Oh, and I love her obsession with Star Wars, which makes me think of the Indiana comic convention I went to this weekend. Saw some really great cosplay, and it's just really fun. Like there's a very real fashion element to comic book conventions. Like people really, really do bring it. So it was really, really fun to observe that and be a
So
part of
quick
that.
question. The point of Comic Con, is it to get dressed up? Like is the cosplay the point, or is the point to go there and buy comic books or something? Like what is the actual point?
Yes and
Both.
yes. Like, but you don't have to do
Right.
cosplay. Like, it's a very accepting environment. Like, I think that's what I like the most about it. Like, you are so free to be yourself, especially if yourself is a
Right.
dork. Like, I didn't even do cosplay. I just had on what was just an outfit I liked, and got a lot of compliments just for stuff like that. I think it's a group of people that really appreciates fashion. And when you're thinking about other worlds, it allows you like an entire different rule book for fashion, which is super fun.
Listen, I'm gonna have to slide up there one time just to.
Yeah, if nothing else, just the pictures. I always like envision doing like a Vogue editorial layout of a comic book convention floor. Yeah, like just about how sickening that would be because of some of the most like interesting and dynamic looks I've seen at conventions like this, down to makeup, hair. Like it's the creativity is downright
Second to none.
inspirational. And then having to do that the same day I went to the Art in Bloom. Like I just had a very artsy fartsy day.
Nice. I love it. Well, I think that people watching is one of my favorite things to do anyway. So that could be a lot of fun. So.
And robots, because there was a purple R2D2, like fully functional, like moving around the floor and stuff. And of course, there was lots of people there selling not just comic books, but all kinds of merch. A lot of people selling like swords, like anime swords.
Because you need one.
There were exactly. There was a guy selling like animated backpacks, like that were just like running animation. It was like really, really cool stuff.
I can't even picture
For
that.
people who watch Avatar, they had like a life-sized appa that you could take photos
What's the
with
oppa, the
and
flying
on.
thing?
Yes, the flying buffalo. They had a DeLorean from like Back to the Future. It was just very niche, very fun. If you like that kind of stuff. So, but yes, Tina Fey, like if you listen to her stuff, she obviously loves Star Wars.
That's cute.
And all that stuff.
Aww,
So
gotta love the nerds, man. They're adorable.
yes, they give us so much.
Right. A lot of good writing is what I'm noticing. So yeah, this book was really, really great, you guys. But let's spin the wheel to see what we're gonna talk about next week. Spin it. Da-da-da-da-da. Kat, I'm gonna let you say it. I'm gonna let you say it because
Thank you. Oh, look, it looks like we're going to be doing a doc watch. We're going to be watching Quiet on the Set. Dun, dun, dun. Y'all have heard about it. Listen, it's going down. And then we're also, if we have time, watching the Freaknik documentary. But we'll just see
it's so
how
funny
it
to me
goes.
because now like it went from first to second place right now, and the documentary scene is hot right now. So we're gonna, depending on how much I can get in, because she's already seen them both. I gotta catch up. So it's gonna depend on how much I can get in over this week. But I'm excited though because I hear that it's setting the internet on fire. I know this documentary, Quite on the Set, is. And so was Freaknik. Everybody was talking about it. So I'm excited to jump into those narratives and see what's up.
I learned so much.
I'm sure I'll be never the same after having watched it.
Listen.
Okay. All right. I'm looking, the mood got somber.
But your body belongs to you.
It is so true.
And you and you and you.
What should they do with it?
Whatever they want,
That's
man.
damn right.
Y'all are free people.
Yeah, damn right. And have some fun with it and do the things you are inspired by. Be around the people you love. Spend time doing the stuff that you like, you guys. Come back, push play, share this podcast, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys. We're out.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.